Welcome to the Toxin Terminator, helping people to restore and renew their health by removing the toxins from the home and their lives. Join in as industry thought leaders help you understand the physical and emotional effects these products can have on you and your family, and the safe alternatives you can use to remove the hidden toxins for renewed health. Now, please welcome your host, the Toxin Terminator herself, Aimee Carlson.
Maybe you can relate. We tried every fad diet, meal plan, cleanse, and exercise program out there to get rid of that unwanted belly fat. It's so frustrating trying to figure out what in the world to do. Through our training and certifications, we've learned a proven method that has completely transformed our lives. Not only did we lose the belly fat, but we have increased energy, we sleep better, and wow, does our hair and skin look better than ever. Join our 3-day boot camp, Roadmap to Wellness Boot Camp, at transformingwomenshealth.com. Welcome to the show. I am super excited to have with me my good friend, Naomi Damask, and my partner in crime. She is the better half of Transforming Women's Health, where we truly are helping women transform their health. And this really started a collaboration with us. We met, 2 years ago now?
It's been, it's been 2 years this past, I think, May or June, Aimee.
Yeah. It's crazy. Time is just like, what? So we met actually through a mutual friend of ours. I was going to learn how to do a podcast because August is my 2-year anniversary of the podcast. And Naomi was asked to join us as well, and she didn't. But we reconnected because tell us just a little bit. There's a reason why we connected, and it's a huge piece of your story and why you do what you do today. So can you tell us what that history is for you?
Absolutely, Aimee. So last fall, I think it's probably around August time, beginning of September, I called you because I know you are one person to get things going. And I decided, all right, we can't have another month that is breast cancer awareness, and we're just talking about mammograms and ribbons. That
monthly exams.
Yeah, that we actually physically needed to talk about women's wellness and what needs to be done to live a preventative lifestyle. Because as a breast cancer thriver, Aimee, I get frustrated that month and every month. And I was like, I can't have another month that goes by or another year that goes by that's all we are doing to educate women. And so I called you because I knew you were a mover and a shaker.
I love it. So, and we do, in a very short period of time, we decided, you know what, let's create an event. Let's bring in some experts because we know chronic disease is lifestyle related. So cancer is part of those chronic diseases, as is obesity, diabetes, heart disease, stroke. These are all chronic diseases that absolutely are related to lifestyle. And we knew from our own personal experience that there are many changes that we can make. Do they guarantee you're not going to have any of those? No one makes any promises, in this world to us, but we have choices that we can make to certainly have life be better. So we brought in and we created that More Than Pink Ribbons event.
And it was amazing, Aimee, because women truly understood all the areas about what is wellness. And it's not just, I always love saying, it's not diet and exercise. We need to address the whole body. And that's digging in and really understanding, what are our hormones? What is, what is detox? What is, because that's such a term, it's such a marketing term. What about our mindset and our spirit? There's so many things that we need to be addressing.
So much happening. And don't worry, if you're watching this, we'll have the second annual event coming up in October again. It was such a huge success. And we had so many women join with us. And we've got a group now of almost 2,000 women that talk to us and tell us what they're experiencing. In my story, and I'm going to let you share a little bit about your story, but my story is I honestly didn't know what feeling good felt like. I was so sick for so long with so many different things, and going to the doctor because, that's what you do. You go to the doctor when your body isn't working the way it should be because, well, it's broken. It needs to be fixed. And so I go to the doctor, and I heard things like, it's in your head. This isn't real. So here's an antidepressant. You have just a high stress job. It's just stress on the body. Here's an antidepressant. Take this. You know what? Your irregularities in your menstrual cycles. Here, let's take the pill. Although I'm, anyways, let's just go on the pill. Well, that's not working. Here, let's do these shots. Here, let's just pump yourself full of synthetic hormones and see if that helps it out. Or I was told by another doctor that, you don't have it bad at all. I've got women that would die to have a period like yours. Really? Like, thank you very much. But that doesn't help me with my situation where I can't even leave the house some days because it's so heavy and I can't keep enough in me, on me, around me to keep things from spewing all over the place. You know what I mean? Oh. You're a woman, right?
Oh, Aimee, I feel you on that because that was me. Like, I look back and I look at my whole history now. And I was raising my hand. I was going to the doctor. I was asking questions because I suffered, from migraines. Even I look back, even in high school, I had those horrific periods. And then they kept saying, maybe it's your thyroid, maybe it's this, and then I did have Epstein-Barr virus. So there were certain things that came into play. But when I got diagnosed, not one person, I've seen lots of doctors over almost this past 10 years, have ever really got to the root cause of all these issues.
Right. Yeah.
What we need to be addressing, which is just baffling to me. I mean, it's the same thing. I was told you're stressed, but I think as women, especially as moms, we're just like, this is life.
Just tell me something I don't know, right? It's like, oh my gosh. And I even felt like, I had beyond the horrible menstrual cycle issues, I had headaches every single day. Mm-hmm. I had migraines that I lost vision in my left side. I really felt at times where I was having out of body experiences. Like literally I was looking down on who is this woman? Because one minute I'm happy, everything is fine. And the next minute I'm looking for somebody to strangle. My emotions were nuts, absolutely nuts. I wasn't sleeping. And I didn't know, am I crazy because I'm not sleeping? Am I not sleeping because I'm crazy? I just don't know where the answer is, right? But I couldn't get an answer. And so I thought that, well, it's as good as it gets. It could be worse. I could have a diagnosis like yours with cancer. At least I don't have that. So I guess I just have to adapt to how I'm feeling. I was one of those that it's just, I'm getting older. It's just, a period of time that I'm going through, and this is how it's going to be. How about you?
Oh, Aimee, it was the same thing. I mean, the exact same thing that was going on, that, the doctors would also compare me to other people and say, you're fine compared to other people. People have it much worse than you. And I do understand that. Like, you do the comparison game. But I was like, I want to know what, first of all, caused my cancer, which I know some people say you can't. But yet I will say, you look back at studies now, and it's lifestyle and environment.
Yes.
It's proven. You can go to PubMed and you can see these things, Aimee, yet no one ever said, let's take a look at X, Y, and Z in your life.
Right.
All these doctors never have said that to me, which, it's like you stop to pause, like, all right, so I had to be my own investigator. And so for the past years, I've just been on this journey of learning, absorbing, being curious, being open to just keep learning and gathering information and be like, oh, I can apply this to my life. oh, this makes so much sense. And I wanted that energy again. I didn't want the brain fog. I was told, oh, the brain fog is because you had chemo.
Right. Yeah, or
a lot.
Right. Well, and what's interesting for you is that knowing your story is you dug in and you made a lot of changes like right away. I mean, here you are faced with this diagnosis. So you're like, okay, I want to know, as I'm learning, I'm like, bam, all these changes I made. How did that feel for you and your family?
Oh, Aimee, it was heavy. I will say that. Like looking back now, I was the crazy lady. Because I was like, I can't do this. I don't do this. I can't have this. I can't eat this. And I remember one time my husband just looking at me and being like, throwing his hands up, what can you eat? What can you do? And he was so frustrated because I also had that mindset, like, if I don't live this lifestyle, because this is what I was learning at the beginning, that my cancer is going to come back.
Fear. You were living in fear.
Total fear. Fear and food shaming myself. But I wasn't putting the right tools in my toolbox right away.
Yeah. See, and I went the opposite direction where I like dipped my toe. You plunged in the lake, right? You jumped in. Boom, I'm in. And I did the dipping of the toe. I got the big toe wet and then the foot wet. And I did it, piece by piece. And it took a long time, years to get all the pieces of the puzzle to fit together and create that beautiful picture. Which is, you went the opposite direction of what I did. And I want to talk more now about kind of, we walked through this point with each other, and you look younger every time I see you, someone says on here.
Ooh,
thank you.
I don't know who that's going towards, but I'll take it. Thank you.
We're taking it. Absolutely. So we made changes. I did it very slowly, but and what I can say is I wished I would have known back then what I know today so that I could have had the changes more rapidly. But such is life. It happens as it happens. You went the direction where you did everything at once and created this undue stress on your body, on the family unit, because like you said, you became that crazy person. But let's talk about life today, because we were at that point of living in the fear, of living in the unhealth. And I always relate it to kind of like we were at the bottom of the mountain, right? Here we are down here, and all we have is the view that we can see right here. And we know what we got. And as we go up that mountain, it's a climb. It takes a little bit of work, but boy, we get about, 1/3 the way up, and it's like, wow, this view's getting a little bit better, right? And we decide, you know what, let's take a rest and let's climb a little bit higher, right? And so we climb a little bit higher. It's getting harder. It's getting really hard now, but the view is becoming even more spectacular. And then we take that last third and we get up there, and that last third is so dang hard, and we're out of breath and we're struggling and we're sweating up a storm, but we get up and you turn around and it's just blows you away in how that view looks, doesn't it?
Oh my word. That is so true. And that journey, it's so hard, and it's so hard to keep going at times.
Yes.
If you don't have the right people surrounding you, the right information surrounding you, all those things, it's sort of like you said, it's that journey. And if you don't have those tools in your backpack, if you're going up that mountain without water and the right, the clothings and the shoes, it's going to be a real challenge, and you are going to give up and you're going to say, forget it. But we are here to tell you that it is worth it. It is worth keep going. Just make sure you're taking the right route,
Research shows that being part of a community really helps us feel united, supported, safe and secure, and we're more apt to reach our goals. This is exactly what we had in mind when we created our Roadmap to Wellness Club. Join us now for our monthly membership group where we host weekly meetings, hosting live Q&As and content created to help you transform your health, as well as monthly expert speakers. Go to transformingwomenshealth.com and click on Roadmap to Wellness Club. Well, and it's like, I cannot describe to you what it feels like today. I can do my very best. I can tell you, oh my word, I sleep. I laugh because I just took care of our kids, just last week, our youngest and his 4 kids. And I'm like, I don't want to say I sleep like a baby because they don't sleep well. Yeah. So, I don't know where that came from.
My children never slept. So no, that's not a good analogy.
But I sleep. I have clarity of mind. I have focus. I have control over my emotions and my feelings. I don't feel like I'm having out-of-body experiences. I don't have the excess weight that I carried around that no matter what I did, I couldn't get rid of it, right? I still had that belly fat, that bra fat, the jigglies under here. And, that might not be fat at all. And we're going to talk about that in a moment, right? And just and not to be in pain, not to be suffering from headaches every single day of my life. And it's hard to describe to somebody how you can truly feel good when you don't feel good. It's like
people, I think, feel bad for so long, Aimee, and that's the problem. We don't know what good feels like anymore. We just and we hear it a lot is with regards to aging. I posted something, I'm a big biohacker, and I posted something about my mom in the biohacking community, and so many people were saying, oh, she's in her 80s. That's age. She needs to suck it up. If she can't, she needs to go see a therapist about it. And she's like, no, she's like, something's going on in my body. I know she's in tune with her body, but I think so many times people just say it's age. Oh, it's because you're a female. Oh, it's excuses after excuses, right?
All my friends are feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Right?
My teenage daughter will say that about her periods. All my friends have horrific periods, Mom. I'm like, yeah, and there's a reason why you shouldn't have to feel like that. That's not normal.
Right. Menopause. You're not there yet, but I've gone through it. I know. And I was able to finish my menopause with no symptoms. Here in the United States is the only country in the world where women have these horrific menopause symptoms. They don't have them like we do in other countries. When you go talk to women outside of the States, they don't have the severe symptoms like we do. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason that this is happening. And here's what we did as we went through this journey. We started learning more. We both went and got through our certifications and we learned how to level everything out, right? Mm-hmm. We learned how to, and before I talk about this, the group that we formed and in Transforming Women's Health, this story that we said, and is our story, it's repeated with every single one of them. And this is why we teach and we coach and we do what we do, because we're not unique. We're not different. Many, many, many women experience what we did as well. And we want to help you get to where we currently are today. Like someone said, you look younger every time we see you. We're aging in reverse. We have that active lifestyle that we want to have. How do we do it? There's 4 things. I say there's the one thing, and I'm going to get to it, when we talk about that, but we stop the barrage on the body.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We have to. We have to, Aimee, really pull our hand away from the fire. Because if you keep holding it there, guess what? You're going to burn and you're never going to heal.
We're constantly being bombarded. We're constantly being attacked. Our bodies are being attacked every single day. Now, this isn't to tell you this to be scared, because this is empowerment. This is learning so that you can take steps to do something different. It's also clearing the funnel, right? You know, our bodies have a funnel, and we have to learn what exactly is the funnel. What are all the layers of that funnel, and how do we keep it clear? Remember when I was talking about that bra fat? That's part of that funnel. Guys, that might not be fat at all.
And if you're in my lymphatic group, you probably saw a recent post about that. I actually posted about it.
You know, it all works intricately together. Then we're able to establish and create a body that burns fat. And that is like an amazing piece of the puzzle, because our bodies are made to be healthy. Our bodies are made to heal. Our bodies are made to do what they're designed to do if we give it the proper tools, right?
Well, you know, you and I always say, fix the cell, the body gets well, because it really starts from that little tiny thing inside our body, which are called the cells. That's where we have to start, you guys, is from the inside out.
It is an inside job, absolutely. And then the last part is rejuvenating our minds. When we do all of this, we truly get to rejuvenate the mind, because there's certainly things that we're doing with our mindset, with our words, you know, with the things that we tell ourselves, the things that we're doing on a daily basis that are affecting, you know, how we go about and make choices for ourselves and our families, right?
Yes.
So then let's talk about, here's the thing. We talked about, we have to stop the barrage. We have to clear the funnel. And by doing these two things, we start creating a body that burns fat, and then we rejuvenate the mind. There's 4 kind of key elements in what we do and how we can help you. And it's the 4 things and key elements that you and I did as we created the lifestyle, the active, high-powered, get out there and tackle the day, you know, lifestyle that we have today. And June 20th, we've got a webinar where we're going to take you through the one thing: stop the barrage. We're going to help you understand what that first piece and first element is that you can do that can be absolutely life-changing for you.
You know what, Aimee? It absolutely, it is the most important thing we should be doing, especially nowadays more than ever. You have to address this one thing before you do everything else. If not, it's not going to matter.
It's the piece of the puzzle that you're missing. If you're somebody who says, I am eating all the right foods, I am working out every single day, yet I still struggle with weight, I still struggle with fatigue, I still struggle with not being able to sleep, I'm telling you, this is the missing link to the piece of the puzzle. I put things together very slowly over time. And it was getting all these pieces together. Now, I had the starting piece very early on, but I wasn't adding in the creating the body that burns fat piece. You know, I had to link that in. So maybe you just don't have all 4 pieces interconnecting in the right way. And we're gonna walk you through the one thing. One thing.
So, because the whole thing is we've learned we don't want to overwhelm people. You know, we just need to start here. And it's all those 1%, Aimees, that add up to 100%.
Oh, my word.
All the little 1%. So sometimes the good or the bad, they all add up to 100%. So where can we start? What are the first baby steps? And keep building on that, and you keep building. And it's all about, you know, habits. We either have good habits or we have bad habits, but we all have habits and we're layering them in, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, we hear from people who have gone through programs with us in the past that, you know, they thought they knew a lot, but wow, were their eyes opened. They tell us that, you know, incorporating the changes that we talked about with them. Oh, and we lost you, Naomi. She just went dead. Oh, goodness. Well, that's okay. we're just going to keep going. I'm going to share a couple more testimonials with you. Again, that they are able to drop that excess weight that they've been carrying around because of the steps and changes that they made. They tell us that they are now making better choices for themselves and their families, and as women, this is the reason why we work with women. Number one is because we are women. Number two is that we know that when we help women are kind of the backbone of the family. They're the ones who are helping the entire family unit and the children. They're setting the example for the kids. So when we help women, we're really helping also that next generation as well. And so as the gatekeeper to your home, if we help you, change things and how you're doing and living your life and having that high empowered life that you want to have, then you're able to give that to your children as well. And what a blessing is that. I look at my 12 grandkids and I hope that I'm setting a good example for them, that they're learning how you can age gracefully, you can age with energy and still living that active lifestyle, that you don't have to accept the status quo. Those are my goals in helping them as well. So we hear people who their eyes were open. We even have women who have come through our program working with us that are health coaches themselves. And we're like, wow, there was so much that I learned that I hadn't even put the pieces of the puzzle together, and what a difference it has made in our lives. So if you want to join us and learn the one thing, how to stop the toxic barrage, go to transformingwomenshealth.com. and you'll see the countdown and you can get clicked in and join with us. And I apologize that we lost our guest, Naomi Damask, and she truly is such a huge blessing to my life. And I'm so glad I met her, because teamed up together, we're really able to reach out and make such a difference for women in their lives, because we've had that transformation ourselves. And that's our biggest desire, is to, if you're there, you're ready, you're like, what? I've tried everything else. That's where I was. I've tried everything else. Nothing is working. I honestly was the most pessimistic person in the world. It's like, nothing has worked. Why is this going to work? But I didn't give up. I just knew deep down inside, of hope of all hopes, that there's something else out there that's going to make a difference for me. And I just continued pushing forward. And I just tell you to trust your gut instinct, that there is something that can make a difference for you. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and we cannot wait to see you on June 20th.
That's all for this episode of the Toxin Terminator, and we hope we've helped you remove the hidden toxins in your life for renewed health. If you're looking to continue your journey towards full rejuvenation, reach out to Aimee directly by visiting aimeecarlson.com for your own one-on-one chat session, as well as your free toxic risk assessment. That's AIMEE Carlson.com. And remember, you are just one small change away from renewed health.